Well, text me. I've got 2 doctors in the morning.
So tomorrow at 3:45, so you can make it great if not Tuesday. I didn't see any badgers yesterday.
Good.
I saw 2 the last time I went up there.
You didn't tell me.
The foothills up there are just peppered with big old fresh holes.
Wow. Used to be a big deal if we saw 1 a year.
Yeah.
Thing is, they're bold and brave. They're not afraid. I mean,
Badgers are mean as hell. You see one go the other
well, I
way.
know, but usually they'll not dig a hole right where there's a path, trail. That gets used every day usually. Now they're just not afraid. They don't have any. All people go up and shoot all the coyotes, so they don't have any predators. They're
Right.
emboldened.
So I put a bale and a half of shavings in his stall 3 nights ago, Conrad, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can lay down out in his paddock. And he didn't lay down the first night, but he did the night after that. He did last night. But the first 2 days that I had some shavings in there, just a skip, it was like Kathy's, he peed 3 times. The first time, right when Conrad and I put him in the stall.
Well, Kathy taught him to do that.
Kinda, yeah, but you would think that he would stick to going out in his regular routine.
Well, his last routine was a skiff, and he couldn't get out, so.
So, night before last, I cleaned up all the shavings. I swept everything against the long wall as you walk into Wildfire. I just came out a couple feet because he's laying with his back to that wall.
Yeah?
And he kind of walked, he didn't pee at all, so the center is bare. And he goes and he lays down on his pile against the wall.
Well, as long as a dumbass doesn't get cast.
Yeah, he's pretty smart about that. But he spent the last 2 nights he hasn't made a mess.
Are you putting the sheet on him?
No. They close these big doors, and it's nice. And he has an active corner.
Yeah, I know. He's furry as a bear already.
He just stepped right into his hoof print.
A little behind. He's got his toe.
Touching.
Yeah, but he isn't tracking up.
There's not much of a hurry right now either, which is fine. Do you see the ticker moving, Conrad?
Hmm?
You see the counter, the ticker keep going? So you know you're...
Yeah. I'm going to need some exercise for this. I have to start doing some.
Some arm weights.
Well, I got to work out. Going down the middle fork of the Salmon. I rented a cataract from a guy.
Is it fun?
Yeah. I haven't floated a river for a long time, and
That's
so
what Shelley said.
it was a really nice, brand new pair. The tubes on the cataract were new, or relatively new, but the frame was old and
Wiggly.
not wiggly, but it wasn't. It was antique. It wasn't built for somebody like me. And then the seat was old and
You mean somebody like you, because you're so tall?
No, just yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because you're not inordinately heavy.
No, I weigh 200. 92 pounds. But the oars were old and they weighed a ton.
Oh yeah, wooden
So
oars,
no, they're metal.
but still heavy.
Oh God. So the first day we Josh picked me up about 6:30, then we picked up Morgan and took off. Got to Boundary Creek like 10:30. The put-in spot, we got everything, our boats all ready to go down, put in. But and the other guys from Idaho Falls, they were kind of late getting there, so it was, I don't know. And then we had a long way to go for our first camp spot on the river. I wasn't.
Maine salmon, right?
Middle Fork.
Middle Fork. Of the salmon?
Middle Fork of the salmon. Ooh, it's seriously, it's one of the premier whitewater adventures in the world.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like it. It's amazing.
I'm glad you had a blast, and I'm extremely glad you got home.
Mm. But after that night, oh, it was cold too, and I didn't have the right gear I forgot. Just inexperience, and my own fault. Nobody told me. So you're going to get really wet. In a cataract, there's no raft. I've been on a cataract once, but a long time ago on the Maine salmon, but it was August, it was 95 degrees, so I didn't worry about getting wet.
Is it frosty up there?
Yeah. Twice. But the river, I mean, it's
Beautiful.
I got cold. So, but that night, oh my God, my arms and muscles I haven't used a whole different set of
Oh yeah.
muscles for rowing.
Absolutely.
Oh, so the next morning, my brother-in-law, Gary, he put this whole thing together. He was the Commodore, anyway. I told, because there's a bunch of guys that I didn't know from Idaho Falls that worked. Gary's a big shot out at he's a chemical engineer. His degree is chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big shot out at INEL. He's deputy director of nuclear fuels and
Oh, cool.
materials.
Bet
So
he can tell you some stories.
Yeah. Most of the guys from there work out at INEL. They're mostly engineers and I don't know, a bunch of nice guys. But so there were 13 guys, 7 boats. We had a lot of gear, a lot of beer, more beer than you can imagine. Those guys bring. Anyhow, so the next morning I told Gary, I said, boy, my elbows are killing me. My elbows are shot from years of manual labor. So he let another guy, Steve, said, yeah, gosh, there's, 6 guys riding on, they weren't rowing, riding on it, so some guy named Steve that was on Gary's raft said, yeah, shoot, I'll go. 2 hours later, we pulled up for someplace, and he was shot. He said, I can't anymore. My arms are so frickin' tired, my shoulders are killing me. This thing's a beast. One other guy tried it for about an hour. A couple days later, and the bullshit, I've had it. I can't. I'm just not strong enough to do this thing. The oars are like 300 pounds a piece, it seems
Well,
like.
it's something that, like you said, it's different muscles.
Yeah.
And you have to, it's like riding a horse. You have to practice just to be able to do it. Harder than hell when you just go.
7 days on the river. Oh, man. By the time we got off, I was great. It was a tumor.